Welcome to Rupee Table, a D&D podcast from the Rupee Crew.
With your task ahead of you of trying to figure out what the fuck is up with the Cricks, Veril leads the lot of you out of their office, down the stairs that you first came in this library, out the front doors into the main courtyard of the inner library, and over to another tower that is nearby but closer to the sort of the exterior walls of the campus. As you enter through this metal door, there is a set of stairs that descends deep and deeper into the earth. One by one, you file down the staircase with Veril at the head. And after a few moments, after what feels like maybe a little bit too much time in the staircase,
I trip and fall.
Pesmus trips and falls. He does not trip and fall.
Yeah, okay.
As you are going down the stairs, you start to hear the sound of rushing water get louder and louder and louder. As you reach the final step, you are greeted with a well-lit opening that brings you to the underground canals. The canals are much lighter and airier than you expect them to be. The stone walls painted just like a warm white to help brighten the space up. The sort of dark blue water thrashing through, creating a thunderous cacophony in your lovely ears. You can see directly to your left there is a large metal gate that spans the entire circumference of this kind of circular space, even dipping into the water, and you can only assume that it hits the very bottom of the canal itself. There is the path that you are standing on that juts out and follows one side of the wall. Across the canal there is another path, as well as another door that you can only assume leads to another staircase that brings you up. But as you are gathered, Veril sort of shouts over the sound of the rushing water. If you head in this direction here, past this gate, you will find, I believe, one of the openings to one of the Cricks' nests. Like I said, we are not entirely sure what is happening in there. We have not seen any come in or out. But, shocker, no one has been willing to go in and investigate quite yet. It has also only been about maybe 5 or 6 hours since this whole ordeal has started, so again, we are very appreciative of your expediency and arriving here as soon as you did. So please tread carefully as you walk past these wonderful rushing waters of our city, and you can return this way, and I will be waiting for you somewhere on the campus. If you can't find me, have Callan flag me. I'll find you outward. We'll make it work.
See, I told you Callan wasn't going home yet.
Since I'm the guy on the posters for all the animal stuff, I should know something about the Cricks, right? Like, I should understand what the Cricks are, but do you mind explaining what the Cricks are?
Yes. Well, give me a nature
check. Great.
Yeah.
For someone who's supposed to be a naturologist, I don't have.
They're too common. They're too common for you, right?
Was that?
You don't have proficiency in nature? Oh.
But that is an 11?
Okay. So, I mean, like, baseline knowledge, you know that these are, I guess, like, big predatory birds that mostly, at least in the context of Baccaran and other surrounding cities, they are part of the, like, pest control. They are very well known for taking care of the Cricks, and that's why they are usually not a problem for most folks. There's a couple, you'll get a couple roof tiles crunched every couple of years, but not usually a problem. You know that they do nest in like large groups. And I think like her talking about them living underground, that does track, that does make sense. Because they like to be out of sight. They like to kind of do their own thing, but then they come out, do their job, get rid of the cricks, and then they just go home and hang out. They do like to collect shit too.
Ooh.
Because they will also sometimes just take the broken tile pieces along with the goers. But I think that's, unless there's anything else like specifically that you would want to know about them, I think that's kind of the general gist of.
They're not my expertise. It's fine.
Exactly. They're big birds. They're helpful.
Big bird.
Sometimes they steal people's hot dogs, but you know. Not usually stealing people's children's, but you know, it happens sometimes.
My corn dog!
Just big bird
Callan had a really
descending from the heavens to destroy a bunch of goats. Oh, yeah.
So y'all are in the canal corridor. What do you do?
I walk forward.
Into the water. Excellent. Congratulations. You fall in a kaplunch and you go smack against the grate.
Professor!
That does not actually happen.
Then I'm dead. That's it.
Yes,
Thanks everybody for
right.
listening
Only
along.
we had some kind
He's
of
achieved it.
aquatic creature to withdraw him from the water.
No, I do not walk forward into the water.
I
That's my course of
So
action.
we're basically just following the water flow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm just going to follow the water flow as far as it'll go.
And so you follow it and very quickly arrive at one of these gates that is down the way. And you see that it's this very like intricate, beautiful pattern. Clearly, much like the rest of the space, a lot of care was clearly put into this so that it like looks nice. People come down here. It seems like people come down here like frequently enough. There is a border that looks like the frame of a door that is sort of centered along the path that you are walking. However, as you get up close to it, there are no hinges, there's no handle. It just looks like a continuation of the gate itself.
So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this and say, all right, I've seen this before. And I ready myself off to the side and then just kind of shove forward with my shoulder.
You are wearing your ring, correct?
Yes.
Okay. As you do so, you expect the resistance of a gate. You expect the resistance of just something to be able to like push through this door. Can you give me let's do an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics.
Yeah.
I have proficiency in that.
Uh-huh.
That is a 19.
Okay. You, at the moment where you think that you hit the gate, you just go barreling through. And thankfully, you are quite graceful in your landing, and instead of tripping over your feet, you take a couple of like funky steps, almost trip, but stick your landing pretty good. And
Nailed it.
Good job, y'all.
I shout at the wall, like, yeah, just walk right through it. It's fine. I fixed it.
But we don't like see any. We don't see like anything opening or anything. He just goes through.
correct. You can see him like on the other side of the gate, of course.
But once he's through it, like it still looks like a gate.
Yeah.
So Thurgy walks up and having seen whatever happened to Yarrow, clearly it was a violent process of getting through this gate, although he saved it very well, it appears.
Mm-hmm.
She walks up to it and very, like, casually kicks at it with her foot.
In your foot, you're wearing your ring.
Yeah.
Just kicks right through. No resistance whatsoever.
Okay. So she tries to sidle through it carefully, slowly.
Yeah, and it feels like there's nothing there as you go through. You can feel kind of like a little tingle on the ring of like little spritz of magic. But yeah, you make it through just fine.
Okay, great.
Nothing fancy. Does anyone else do anything special to go through the door, or
Straight through.
Yeah. Like a boss.
Mm-hmm.
Chest out.
Can Wadwigas get through? Did they give Wadwigas a ring?
so you go through, and Wadwigas tries to go through, but bonks against the gate.
Wada reaches back through and touches Wadwigas.
Okay.
And pulls him through.
And that
Okay.
works.
Yay.
That was close.
Otherwise, everyone goes through with
Yeah.
So, do we only technically need one ring, and we could have all just linked arms?
Just a giant conga line.
They didn't know what y'all's relationships were. They didn't want to make any assumptions that everyone was comfortable doing a conga line.
That's fair. 30's not comfortable touching any of you right now.
How can you say you're friends if you can't do a conga line?
Are we friends? We just met.
I consider you a friend.
I forget. Does Ben look cold because they are still in like a wet dress thing? Or...
Yeah, probably a little bit.
Yeah,
Phasmith
They
takes off
spent
one
the
of
night
his
in the cold.
scarves and lends it to you. He's like, here, you.
Thank you, I think.
You seem kind of wet.
Yes. That's what happens when you spend the night in the rain.
Well, this scarf has not spent the night in the rain, so now you get to have some not rain. Here you go.
Thanks. Ben's just kind of a little baffled by this whole experience.
It doesn't look like a single scarf leaves Phasmith's neck. It's like it's always at 30 or something scarves. You can't imagine the mass that must be there.
Phasmith is my new best friend. Just
You
saying.
got the scarf too.
Oh, thanks.
Come along, my young wards, and you too, my moist tiefling, please. We must continue. This is urgent matters.
Only if you promise never to call me that again.
I just call it as I see it.
As they're walking along, I think Wada turns and says, Yara? Yawo?
Yeah?
Yawo. I have some questions for you. Just, for science. Was your mother a dragon?
Yes.
Okay. Was your father a dragon?
Yes.
Are they still alive?
Yes.
Wait off. He's a dragonborn. He's not a real dragon.
Excuse me, sir. We refer to ourselves as dragons.
Okay.
The real dragons have been extinct for thousands of years.
Oh, so
Aside-
that your parents are dragonborn.
I mean, yes, technically.
Okay. Was your mom's mom a dragon? And Radar just keeps going.
And Yarrow is thrilled to play along with us. Yes, she was. And my mom's father, and my father's mother, and my father's father. They are not alive, though.
Wadar's drawing this entire family tree in his little fantasy marble notebook.
I can spare you all of that trouble because in my book here, you can just copy it. It's all in there.
Oh, this is your family history.
Yep, we can investigate it after we're out of these awful tunnels.
You were going to donate your entire family history to this library?
They needed an old book.
That sounds like a priceless artifact to me.
There's more of them.
Okay.
It's the only thing we're allowed to read.
Like the picture, which Wadar has squirreled away. Wadar shows no signs of giving this back as they walk along through it.
So you're walking along. Walking along the roaring water. You pass through a couple more of the gates as the path wanders a little bit. Thankfully, it does not necessarily split, at least in the direction that you are going, but you can see that there are, sort of from the other side, there are canals that do connect and sort of widen the space and make it a little bit bigger. But eventually, the roaring of the water begins to increase, and it is clearly not just sort of the water rushing against itself, but is the sound of the water falling out the other side, down the cliff face, and into the Salak, which is one of the two lakes that sits on either side of Bakaran. Unlike the Arlok, and before I mix up which lake is which, I'm pretty sure, yeah. Unlike the Arlok, which is level with the rest of the city, or at least is accessible from Bakharan, from the north side of Bakharan. The Salak is at a significantly lower elevation, hence the mention of waterfalls. So as you reach the end of the canal where the water starts to pour over the edge, there is one final gate. But just before that gate, there is an opening, just in the wall, as if it had been carved out by something. About 10 feet off the ground. What do you guys do?
It's 10 feet in the air.
About so.
Well, I'm heading back.
So can I try and lift myself up to this opening?
Sure. You want to give me an athletics check, please?
Yes, I do.
I always mix up athletics and acrobatics and forget like which one is the strength one and which one is the dex one.
Just pick whichever is a better
10.
stat.
Basically. 10. So you're able to get your hands kind of up onto the ledge with a little bit of a hop, probably. And you feel your hands on there pretty well. But you lift your feet up to get a little bit, some leverage that's a little bit higher. And as you do, one of your feet kind of slips against something. And sort of the force of that kind of pulls you back down. And you kind of land just on your feet with a slightly uncomfortable thud. But taking a closer look at the wall, you do see that there are like some nooks and crannies. If you tried again, you might be able to
actually get up there. All right, I'm going to give this another shot here.
Okay.
This time I'm going to take care to like...
Can I
Find my
help him
grips.
out? Can I assist him in any way?
Sure, absolutely.
I do weigh 350 pounds, so be careful.
I am 5'8" of built, not built, human.
Just
Thurgy
giving him
suddenly-
Beta the whole way up.
Thurgy's suddenly trying to make herself look smaller than her 7-foot frame.
Okay. That's a much better roll of 20.
20.
Dirty
Okay.
20.
Dirty 20. So yeah, now taking a look at taking a closer look at the wall and kind of seeing where you can stick your feet, where you can stick your hands, and with Frederick giving you some probably unnecessary beta on the way up, you are able to climb up into this opening, avoiding any of like the super slippery spots. And
So about what height is this opening?
it's also about 10 feet. It's like 10 feet off the ground and then like
10 feet up.
10 feet tall.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how's the lighting?
Non-existent.
Cool. All right. So I'm going to pull out my axe and cast light on it.
Oh,
Cantrip.
great. Okay. Yeah.
So I can see 20 feet plus an additional 20 feet because I have dim vision.
Okay.
So 40 total feet forward.
Okay. And you can see that it's a cavern that continues deeper into the walls. And you can see that like there's some rocks that are scattered on the ground and like a couple of other things that you can't make out super well from where you are standing, but like if you were closer you could check them out.
Okay. So I'm going to kind of sit with my legs dangling over the edge and say, all right, this looks like it goes back pretty far. I can see it goes well beyond even my spell here. Have we tried the gate? Is that getting us to where we need to go, or should we go down the spooky tunnel?
Do we know where we need to go? We've just been sent down here to just see if anything's wrong, right?
Veril did mention in like a opening, or that she thought that there might be access to one of the nests down here somewhere.
Can we hear anything?
Roll perception.
12.
You can't hear a lot over the rushing water. You might have a better chance of hearing something being a little more separated.
My wisdom is terrible, though. 15.
15. Oh, over the rushing water, you can hear sounds like the sounds of kind of like hard materials, like kind of shuffling or sliding against each other. Not like super consistent, but just kind of like something falls and then something slides and it's like kind of tink, tink, tink.
Would it be noticeably different than just like kind of normal cave noises of like sands dropping?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I kind of shout down and says, "It's something moving around back here as well. Maybe it's the bird things we're looking for."
Is anybody good at seeing in the dark?
Thurgy
Phasma
hesitantly
phrases
raises her hand.
Wait, I'll raise his hand. And what do we get as lifts? one pectoral fin off the ground.
I would like to take weight off, with your permission, weight off, and just kind of yeet up into the air.
Fastball special!
Are you actually throwing him?
Just lifting him up, because I'm 6 feet-ish.
Yeah.
6, I'm 3, and with your arms up.
And I can grab.
There you go. Okay, then that's fine. That's a well thought out enough. I'm not gonna make you guys roll for that.
We're smart.
SMRT.
Is it particularly windy?
I mean, there's like, not really.
Could Phasmith fly up?
Yeah, I think that would be fine. You can
Okay.
use your wings to kind of like flutter up.
Yeah, and I don't seem to have my items actually. Does anyone else have a rope? I can drop one down.
Oh, yeah!
Oh, I got one.
Okay,
Got a
so
rope.
Phasmith flies up to Yarrow's, and
Yeah, I've got 30 feet of rope in my bag.
we anchor it with our weight, I guess, up there.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can find somewhere to anchor it. That's fine.
Anchor it to me.
If that
I'm
gives any
huge.
advantage, I assume.
This is true.
I would assume that gives us some advantage, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I'll go up next. All right then.
Ben does that.
Ben tries to climb the rope.
Give me athletics or acrobatics.
I'm not good at either of those. An 18.
Yeah, you make it up just fine. I think you're very careful about like where you're placing your feet and using the rope and putting like your weight correctly on it. You make it up with no issue.
It's not all that different from climbing out the bedroom window.
Exactly.
Is that
Plenty of
something you do
experience.
often?
Don't worry about it.
Don't know what that Muppet was.
I mean, who hasn't climbed the rope yet? Am I the only one that's on the bottom?
I think
I
30.
also
Yeah.
have
30.
not made it up.
Ladies first.
Thurgy looks at this black cavern and then looks back at the professor and then mumbles to herself, "This is exactly what Daddy said not to do." And then, just so hesitantly, you can tell she does not want to be doing this, jumps and grabs the rope as high up as she can and tries to pull herself
Athletics or
up and
acrobatics?
over. That's a 6.
Oh no,
Okay,
6? Really?
Yeah, 2 plus 4.
Aw.
That's
So-
12.
That is a 12. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So a 16. There we go.
Okay.
I
Oh,
can't read
yeah.
my dice.
You jump up, and your feet do a little wobble as they kind of like hit the
Scared.
wall. But you stabilize pretty quickly, and then you're able to climb up with no issue.
I kind of baby grabby hands up at the. Like, anybody want to help me up? I guess they're gonna take the rope route.
There's 20 feet of slack rope on the floor, so not too much
Wadwiga's-
grabbing.
I think Wadwiga's also clamps onto the end of the rope, just like, I'll wait.
That's a 10.
Yeah, I think you make it up all right. Everyone has gone up now, and you've been watching everyone and sort of what they've done to climb up. It freaks you out a little bit, and like your foot slips every once in a while, but like you've got a good grip with your hands, and you do make it up unscathed.
I'm totally used to this kind of spelunking. It's fine.
But now you all find yourselves in a very dimly lit cavern, thanks to Yarrow's great axe. As you find your way down this tunnel, you hear less and less of the water rushing out in the canals, and you hear more and more of what you can only describe as sort of materials shifting around. It's not necessarily rocks and stones, but it's some things that are hard, some things that are soft, some things that are metallic, maybe, perhaps. But eventually you make it to the end of this path, and suddenly it opens up into a much larger space. About 20 feet ahead of you, Yarrow, you see just this pile of stuff, of rocks, of bones, of roof tiles, of other like construction materials, and just a whole random assortment of kind of useless looking things. but from within that pile, suddenly the amount of things that move aside and a creature emerges from within it. At first you see these two tentacles that pop out, little mouths that open up at the ends with sharp serrated teeth on the inside. Attached to them, pushing through, is a similar face with no eyes, a long sort of extended jaw that opens up with those same rows and rows of serrated teeth. And its feet slide forward until it touches the ground. The tentacles rise up, almost as if they are looking at you without having the eyes to do so. You hear a loud roar come from this creature, and I would like for everyone to please roll initiative.
May I also ask, do I know anything about this creature?
If you do a nature roll for me.
We'll just say that's my initiative.
Okay. So we're gonna go around and get everybody's initiative. Yarrow.
18.
Nice. Fergie.
17.
Faz.
14. Just in order so far. Oh, jeez.
Frederick.
6.
Still in order.
Technically. Put that there.
Don't put me all the way back down there.
We'll see. Wait off.
11. Sorry, Professor.
Boo.
And
And Rodriguez goes on your turn,
Rodriguez
right?
goes right after me.
Ben?
7.
Sorry, Professor, that is where you go in the lineup.
But I did roll an 18 on my nature check.
Well, we will come to that when it is your turn.
God dang it. I'm a man of science. I do not wait.
You're gonna wait for all of us.
That's fair. Yeah.
For his HP.
I've embarrassed myself. I have +4 to my initiative. And I still rolled a 2.
Alrighty. So, Yarrow, as you are preparing to make your first move, you hear the sudden rush of water deeper in the cavern.
Oh boy.
Otherwise, you see this creature looking towards you, and those funky tentacle things kind of ready to strike at any moment. So what would you like to do?
Okay. So, Yarrow, whose axe is still glowing, decides to just run right up to the thing and just whack it right between the tentacles.
Love it.
Right in the crotch of the tentacle.
Right in the crotch of its face.
And for reference, anyone who's not within 40 feet of me, which is going to be 8 squares on the map we're using, is in darkness. They can see here, but they themselves will be in darkness.
If you do not have dark vision.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to take a swing.
Hit it in the tentagrundle.
It's mine. Oh boy. This is starting again. That's a 6. Does a 6 hit?
It does not hit.
Okay.
You reach out and swing and just miscalculate where its face crotch is. And it kind of moves away, and your axe kind of like moves off the side of it, and you can see that's like a little slick, so it just like slides right past it.
Not a cool feeling.
30.
So even though the glowing axe has moved away, Thurgy as an half-orc does have dark vision, so she can, unfortunately, still see this horrifying monster, and she wants absolutely nothing to do with it. So she is just going to scream as loud as possible and try to back this thing up even farther so that she doesn't actually see it. It is outside the range of her dark vision, and maybe it gets backed up into a corner and helps everyone else, but for right now, she just wants it away from her.
Okay, so she moves into the cavern a little bit farther so that she can actually see. Because I think she's still a little bit farther back just based on where she's placed right now.
Sight line, she can't technically see it, but in terms of where the map is, or like distance-wise,
yes, so
she is actually able to see it.
Correct. So yeah, go ahead and give me that intimidation roll.
That is a 10.
Okay. So as you release this scream, attempting to have it be kind of on par with the shout that just came from its horrible maw, you see that it like shifts a little bit so that it is looking towards you. Does not necessarily move towards you quite yet.
Super
but
great.
It did hear you.
Great.
Phasma.
Okay, so Phasmith is gonna start like meandering into the cave a little more because he's bunched up. He doesn't want to deal with that, so he's gonna just kind of go past there and go like, "Oh, hey, Yarrow, how's it going? Oh, what the heck is that?" And he's going to cast, because everybody should see this monstrosity, and because it's going to make it a lot worse for Thurkey now, he's going to cast Fairy Fire on it.
Nice.
Which is gonna be, they're in range, 20-foot cube. I'm just gonna position that off of Yarrow because he doesn't need that. So when an object in the cube, I can color it a certain color of light, blue, green, or violet. My choice, it's gonna be violet. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is outlined in light if it fails a dexterity saving throw. For the duration, objects and affected creatures shed dim light in a 10-foot radius. Any attack roll against an affected target creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it, and the affected creature or object can't benefit from being invisible.
Nice.
So
that was a wisdom saving throw? Or what was it? Oh, a dex. Okay.
Dex. So what do I roll?
So you don't roll anything. I roll a dex saving throw.
All right. Mine's 14.
Yeah, it does not make that.
Okay, it's now pink or violet.
Violet. You can all
With a
now.
tinge of pink.
Those of you who are not still back in the cavern, or back in the kind of closed part of the cavern, can now see this creature once again in full, lit up in these violet lights that do not complement its horrible, yellow, pasty, slimy skin. But
How
yes,
does this thing smell?
like mud.
Oh, I think it meant like, how does it smell? Like, does it have a nose?
It just kind of smells. It smells like bad mud. Does that make sense?
Swampy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like kind of rank swamp. Like it's been in here for a while. It
Yeah.
hasn't really aired out in a while.
Ugh.
Just been playing video games, peeing in a Gatorade bottle. Yeah.
Exactly. It is.
What?
Oh, why?
Gotta rank up, man.
Thank you for that image.
It's called Dungeons and Dragons, not Penthouse and Dragons.
Bringing back terrible memories of living in an engineering dorm.
I too have experienced that smell.
Yes, I too have a story to tell.
Oh my god. All right. So this creature lashes out at you, Yarrow. Ooh. Does a... Is that a 25 or a 15 hit?
The 25 does, the 15 does not.
That's what I thought.
Does a 25 hit, the DM asks.
I'm just checking. You never know. Level 3, who knows, man? Like, all right. So this creature, it lashes out at you with both of its gross, disgusting tentacles. So it's 5 bludgeoning damage plus 5 additional piercing damage. And you are a medium-sized creature, correct?
Correct.
You are now grappled.
Oh boy.
In this creature's arms, in this creature's lovely tentacle, and at the end of, I think it's at the end of your turn, or at the end of your next turn, you can, or you can use your action to escape the grapple if you would like. Wait, you're up.
Oh no. Wada, I think, hears the commotion ahead and starts running through everyone's legs. I think he's gonna stay not too close to the... he doesn't want to get too close to the thing. The second he kind of sees the visibility and he sees Yarrow grappled, he's gonna glance back to Wadwigas, who has followed behind him, and say, Wadwigas, dinner time! And he pulls the blunderbuss out from his pack and takes aim at this creature and fires off a firebolt, which is magic through an object, because I'm an artificer. Yeah. Oh no.
You have advantage.
I do have
on attacks,
advantage.
at least. Or was that an attack? I'm sorry.
That's not gonna help me at all. So that's plus intelligence for me. So that's 12. Oh, hold on, proficiency. 14. Cool.
It does hit.
Sweet. All right.
Sorry,
You're
that's-
gonna take some fire damage.
Just want to say, mood.
It's okay. Math is hard. Yes. Plus proficiency, right? Yeah. That's 12 fire damage.
Nice.
And if I can add some flavor to my
Okay.
Steel Defender, you see Rodriguez, who has up until this point not had any articulation. Everything is pretty much stationary. The cone has not moved. He's kind of got these dead eyes that are kind of marbly glass. And you see something like, you hear a kind of like chunk inside this shark. And you see something reflective open up in the eyes, and this previously immobile thing that has just been gliding along is suddenly moving faster and more like the fluid sea creature that it is designed to resemble. And all of these articulated pieces of this cone start sliding and moving more fluidly. All right, so he's gonna swim basically up to next to Wada and look menacing. He can't really do any ranged attacks. So you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. Yeah, since he can't do any ranged, he's just gonna dash. Rodriguez's turn, but he looks ready to go. Yeah, so he can ready an action, and if this thing comes closer, he's gonna rend it and bite it.
Okay. Okie doke. Ben, your turn.
So I think Ben is going to skirt their way out of the narrow entryway that they're in there so they can actually get a sight line on this monstrosity. And they're going to reach into the collar of their blouse and pull out a small crystal pendant with a star map on it. And when they hold it up, I'm using my wild shape to take on my starry form. I think she also rolls up her sleeves before she does this.
Okay.
Because she means business.
Serious
So
business.
she rolls up her sleeves, she pulls out this pendant, and suddenly her body becomes luminous, and her joints glimmer like stars, and there are glowing lines connecting them like a star chart, and her hair, previously brown, goes pure silver. Love it. And a constellation of an archer appears on one of her forearms.
Nice.
And I am going to hurl a luminous arrow at this tentacled nasty critter.
Go for it.
That's a 24
Just
to
remember-
hit.
24 hits.
Excellent. For 5 radiant damage.
Cool. Excellent. Now it is a Frederick's turn.
Okay, I'm gonna move up next to Wada, my young ward.
Beautiful.
And so, quick question. So I rolled an 18 before my nature check that we talked about.
Yes.
Do I know what this thing is?
You would know. Let's see. This is a scavenging creature. You're not surprised to see it in such an environment, especially seeing like the pile of trash, the pile of stuff that's ahead. Like it must think that there's something interesting or valuable in there. Yeah, they tend to be more like very deep buried in the earth type creatures. So this is a little closer to the surface than you've ever seen one or like heard of one being before.
Do I know what it's called, or do I
Oh
just...
yeah, it's a weird spelling. It's an otia.
Otia. Ah, yes. Familiar with these. Strange to see one here. Pray tell, DM, does it count as a monstrosity? I know we use the word monstrosity around here.
It is not a monstrosity.
Frick. Okay, well, he's not my favorite enemy, unfortunately, as a ranger. But yeah, I am right up against Wade Owl, so I'm going to immediately, as a bonus action, cast Hunter's Mark on it.
Awesome.
So I'll get 1d6 extra damage against it when I do damage rolls.
Okay.
Hoping to God I actually hit it.
Advantage.
We're rolling with
baby.
advantage, right. So I'm
Yep.
going to roll an attack with my bow, so I pull out my bow and knock an arrow and let it fly true.
Go for it.
And I'm going to let it fly true? That's 2 nat 1s in a row. I'm getting the bad rolls out early.
Ooh, yeah. No, you shoot your first arrow and it goes backwards. You don't know how, but you all of a sudden the arrow just kind of like gets turned around and goes right behind you. And you are just like, you're a little shook and you pull out another one and you're like, okay, I got it this time. And you shoot it forward and somehow it comes out of the bow backwards and just like lands at your feet.
I hold the arrow stays in place, the bow goes. The
bow just smacks you in the face.
Yeah. I'm a little... This is such an anomaly. I really don't want to hurt this creature. So, yeah.
Can I just ask, what was the advantage? That's from your spell, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
From Fairy Fire.
Technically, I think there's just like a 20-foot block of land that's now Violet 2, maybe?
Sweet.
It says objects and creatures, so...
Also,
Everything's going.
Ben
I assume-
also now emits a 10-foot radius of light. There's a lot of this is like a full-on light show in here right now.
At this point, those of us with dark vision are just like, ah.
I know. I was so excited to have dark vision.
So as you are all making your first move against this creature, successfully or not, you all hear the sound of thrashing water off to the left. To the right, I think Thurgy and Ben might notice it the most. Thurgy will definitely notice it the most because Ben is standing right next to it. There are these pockets of darkness that are in a crevice that is just around the corner from where you were standing. And you didn't see it before because it was just around that corner. But just now it seems to be expanding and kind of seeping out into the space. And you can see that the light that Ben is emitting just stops and is just like cut off by this darkness.
Don't like that.
Yarrow, it is your turn.
Okay.
So like I said, you can attempt to escape the grapple as your action, or you can also attack from being grappled if you would like.
Okay, so Yarrow, who has now whiffed on this creature and been grabbed and taken quite a sizable hit from the tentacle, emits this roar that shakes the cavern and, for DM's purposes, can be heard up to 400 feet away.
Sweet, okay.
However, I'm going to need both the creature and Wad to make a con save.
Okay.
DC 13.
Oh.
13.
Okay.
So you just made it.
And the creature does not make it.
Okay. So Wad takes 4 damage. The creature takes 9, and if possible, is pushed back 10 feet.
Okay. So you said 9 damage?
Yes.
Into the violet.
That's the scream 30 wanted to do.
So, for flavor, Yarrow lets out this immense roar that sounds more like a crackle of thunder than anything else. And echoes down the cavern. The blast wave hits everybody, but it looks like it only damages Wad and the creature.
So, as this sound comes, sort of pushing through the space, the creature does get moved kind of back into the pile of stuff, the 10 feet that you pushed it. But because you are grappled with it, you do go along with it deeper into this pile.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you would like to do?
Is there anything else I can do?
Do you have a bonus action?
To cry.
Right, yeah. I have things I can do with a bonus action, but I can't do one right now, so.
Fair. All right, Thuggy, it is your turn.
Okay. So yeah, Thurgy is angry. Very angry now that the monster didn't really care about her scream, but that was very scared of Yarrow's scream. So She's gonna enter rage. Become even
Rage.
So she's gonna become even scarier.
Yay!
But still not as scary as Yarrow.
To be determined. So she's gonna charge at this thing, rip the flail from her back, and go after this thing. And that is...
You get advantage, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you have advantage because of the...
I think I'm gonna want that.
Yeah.
That is a nat 20.
Yo! Nice.
Thank you, Faz, for the advantage.
Yeah.
That is a 10 plus 4, 14.
Sweet. Okay, so you land your flail, and unlike Yarrow, hit it perfectly in the face crotch. Sorry, that was 14 damage? How much was that again?
That was, yes, 14.
Okay. And it lets out a very satisfying wail.
She looks a little self-satisfied at Yara, just goes, huh?
I'd like to see you wrestle this, princess.
Phasma, your turn.
I guess I can cast Sacred Flame. Flame-like radiance descends on a creature that you can see within range. Oh, wait.
You know what? I'll say that you can see it enough that you'd be able to do that.
Right.
I mean, you can also move.
It's also, well, it is in the light.
Wait, is it? This
And
might
well,
hit.
yes, and you can see the light where it is.
Because my axe is still a flashlight.
Right, and it is also a flashlight.
Yes.
I'm sure this won't hit Yara.
It only targets one creature, so you're fine.
Target must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 1d8 radiant damage. Target gains no benefit from cover for this saving throw.
Okay.
So what do I roll?
So I will roll a dexterity saving throw, which is horrible.
Okay.
That is a 5.
Okay, I had 14, so...
Okay, so that works. So
Mm-hmm.
roll your damage.
7.
Nice.
It's also violet. No.
So you cast this spell, and you see, for a moment, there's another flash of light that surrounds this creature as your radiant flames descend upon it. It squeals in pain. Because, you harped it.
Good.
You harped it
God!
good.
How's this guy looking so far?
That's a great question. And I'll give you an answer. He's still holding on. It's not bloodied yet. So now it is the creature's turn. And I'm going to read this real quick. Yarrow, can you give me a Constitution saving throw, please?
18.
Okay. Whoop. So this creature lifts its tentacle up and slams you down into the ground.
Oh no.
Oof.
Yeah.
Ow.
And you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage. And you feel like your head start to spin a little bit, and you start to see the stars kind of moving around your head, but you manage to keep your wits about you, like shake them off.
No, that's Ben.
Exactly. And then Thurgy. Does a 19 hit?
It does.
Okay, so for you... So it is 6 points of damage.
What type of
that
damage?
you take. Okay, so sorry. 5 points of bludgeoning damage and 1 point of piercing damage.
So in rage, I am resistant to bludgeoning and piercing.
Ooh.
Is that nothing or like
It's half.
It's half.
Yeah, resistant is okay.
Okay, so
Immune is
I'm down
nothing.
3. I'm down 3.
Okay, cool. You are also now grappled. And during your turn, you will have
Don't touch me! Stop touching
I
me!
imagine it just like reaches out, grabs you, and you like, that doesn't hurt, and then you register like the slime just kind of around you, and you just let out this like wail of
Now you're getting into it, princess.
It's not physical damage, but it damn sure is psychic damage.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. And I think that's all it's gonna do. And it's just chilling in the pile here. Waita, it is your turn.
I shoot it again. When I reaches under this blunderbuss and kicks out, I think it's probably got one of those, I don't know what it's called. The trigger.
Lever
almost-
action.
The lever. It's probably a lever action thing. It's an old timey piece of work.
Cricks that up, and as he swings the lever out, he yells to Wadwigas, "Go low!" And oh yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's a dirty 21.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
hits.
I thought so. Yeah, he shoots it again for. That's another 10 fire damage.
Wow, nice. All right.
And Wadwigas, still swimming like the beautiful, graceful beast he is, shoots in between these two and
Right for the crotch.
right on the floor.
Right on the face crotch.
Right on the floor, and goes to bite this thing's actual fucking crotch.
All right. Roll for me, baby.
And 10.
10 does not hit.
No.
He, Rodriguez goes in and goes low and goes to take a bite, but it's too smooth and it's too slick that he doesn't get the right purchase, and just accidentally slams his jaw shut and kind of one of his teeth kind of clink clink joins the pile of stuff.
It's okay, Rodriguez, I'll fix it later.
Ben.
Ben is gonna try to skirt around the edge of this space, avoiding that bizarre darkness that's not moving correctly. Right there. Yep. So now she's got more of a sight line on this critter, so she's less likely to have to shoot through all of her allies. And with a bonus action, I am going to shoot another luminous arrow.
Okay.
22 to hit.
22 hits.
Excellent. For another 11 points of radiant damage.
Oh.
And then with my action, I am going to cast Produce Flame.
Okay.
So a flickering flame appears in Ben's hand, and she hurls it at the critter.
Okay.
Natural 20!
Woo! Woo!
Oh, bless these dice. Okay.
Must be nice to hit things.
12 fire damage.
Nice.
How's it looking?
So, as you land this arrow, as you landed your last hit, you saw a scrape kind of cut across it, and just as Ben's arrow landed on the other side of it, you saw that dripping ochre ooze start to come out the side of it, and it is definitely bloodied now. And Frederick, it is your turn.
Great. I'm gonna just get a little bit closer and take a nice, fine arrow shot
Go for
against
it.
my hunter's marked enemy. That is with advantage, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's better. That's a 22.
22 hits.
Sweet. Great. Fantastic. That's a D8 plus a D6. I can do math.
Hell
Shake
yeah.
him up real good.
12 points. 12 points of damage does hit. So,
Somehow Frederick would whiff damage.
It hits the target, and the target gets pushed back. It just doesn't take anything.
you shoot your arrow, and it hits sort of the joint of where the tentacle is, and it does a little bit of a swish. So Yarrow gets a little bit of it's a little jostled and kind of brought. You can see his head kind of pop up over the pile and
Ride him, cowboy.
Yahoo!
Yahoo Yarrow.
Yeah.
They call him Yahoo Yarrow.
Speaking of which, it is your turn, Yarrow.
Okay, well, not gonna try and blast my allies here because I don't want to harm Princess Orc or anything. So I am going to attempt to free myself from this tentacle.
Excellent.
And do I get advantage on this?
Rodriguez can help you.
I don't.
So give the help. No. Well, I should have readied help.
Yeah,
That's
Fairy
right.
Fire I think is
Yeah.
mainly for
Ready help.
attacks though.
Just
yeah,
attacks. Okay.
just I was gonna say, unless there's something else, I don't think there's anything active on the field that can help you.
You got swooshed a little. Maybe that helps.
Okay, so I just get the plain old +3.
Yep.
Oh boy, 7.
No.
Okay.
You
So
live here now.
As you are lifted up into the air, you feel the tentacles start to loosen a tiny bit, and you see that there's a moment that you might be able to escape. But as you start to kind of move and push it out, it just tightens up again around you. Thurgy, you are also grappled.
Yeah, what do I gotta do to get out of this?
You gotta roll a athletics or acrobatics check.
You can also attack it while you're grappled, right?
Yes, you can attack it if you'd like.
Thurgy does not want to be touching this thing.
Oh, those gosh darn
Gertie
claws.
doesn't want to be touching this thing either.
That is a 15.
Yeah. You see Yarrow start to like wiggle and make an escape, and while this thing's clearly distracted by him, you feel that tentacle like loosen up, and you're able to kind of slip out of it and get out of your grapple.
Great. She
So-
lands on the ground and is just like,
So yeah, so that was your action. If you have any bonus actions or anything else that you want to do. Okay, cool. So Faz, it is your turn. Oh, nope, I forgot a thing. Never mind. I forgot it would skip it.
No, do tell. Is it something that Phasmith probably would notice has creeped closer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It is. So what happened?
How's Ben looking?
Okay, hold on, everyone. John, this goes like 3 turns ago. This goes after Frederick.
Okay. So, after Frederick finally lands his hit, Ben, Faz, I think Ben, Faz, and Wada, you like catch it out of the corner of your eye. You see that this pool of darkness that is behind Ben and sort of off to the side of Phasmith expands.
Oh, we're just straight up in it now.
Oh no.
Y'all are, yep, is that where you were?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yep, you are suddenly engulfed in advanced magical darkness.
I have a
Oh.
quick question about this advanced darkness because I am literally glowing.
Yes.
Does that impact
Is
darkness situation?
You did mention earlier that the light stops at the darkness.
I did
Okay.
say that your light stops. So yeah, you are completely engulfed. You like can't even see yourself.
Cool. Hate that.
Yep.
Awesome. Great. Carry on.
Yeah, and everyone else would notice that that little blip of light where Ben was has been like swooped out.
Am I just like? Oh no, I am in it. Yeah. Cool. That's great.
Okay.
Okay. So, now that Phasmith is in the darkness, he's not feeling that. He's feeling a little calm, but does he see anything in the darkness while we're here? No, nothing.
It is dark as fuck, dude.
Okay.
You can't even
He's
see your own
gonna-
hand in front of your face.
He is going to reach down to his hip where his lantern is, and bring it up, propped up on his arm. No, not like that. Not the Professor trademark special, but maybe just a little bit up in the
I
air.
thought you were gonna say like a boombox.
And he's gonna cast Radiance of the Dawn.
Yeah.
Yay!
Nice,
What does
nice.
that do?
Shiny.
Well, I'm glad you asked, and now I have it printed out this time. Okay, starting at 2nd level, you can use your Channel Divinity to harness sunlight, banishing darkness, and dealing radiant damage to your foes. As an action, you present your holy symbol, and any magical darkness within 30 feet of you is dispelled. Additionally, each hostile creature within 30 feet of you must make a Constitution saving throw. A creature takes radiant damage equal to 2d10 of your cleric level on a failed saving throw, and half as much damage on a successful one. A creature that has a total cover from you is not affected.
okay.
Uh-oh. Do they have cover from me? Oh.
No, we've established that you can see them, I think.
Yay!
So the dark
Discotheque.
So as you place your lantern up on your shoulder and say, I guess, do whatever, what do you do to like activate the light?
Okay, Ben, say cheese!
What?
As you do, there's a flash of light that floods the room, and immediately the darkness that is around the two of you, those two entire pools, completely disappear. And some of the darkness that expanded out of the one farther disappears, but you can't really tell if it is 100% gone, but it got rid of as far as it was able to reach. And what is the save that I need to do for the creature?
It is equal to 2d10 plus your cleric level. Oh, no, Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Well, that's a natural 1.
Ooh!
So I'm gonna say I don't think even with a modifier that would be even any bit close.
8. Hey. So 2d10 actually. So 8,
Okay.
4, so 12, and plus cleric level, so 2, so 14.
Okay. So yeah, this thing is not looking too good. Speaking of which, it is its turn. 30. It is going to lash toward you.
Disadvantage is
Because of
reaction.
Rodriguez. Excellent. Okay. So it's going to lean forward, not with its tentacle, but with its entire toothy maw. So poorly. Does a 10 hit?
It does not.
Excellent. Okay, so it reaches forward with that mouth first, and you just very smoothly move out of the way. But as you do, that only affects one attack, correct?
One attack.
As you move away, you see out of your periphery the tentacle that was holding onto you is reaching down again towards you for 13.
Nope.
Excellent. And it just kind of slides right past you.
I'm too slippery with all the slime.
Yeah, exactly. And Yarrow, can you give me a Constitution saving throw, please?
5.
All right.
How's
this time-
Yarrow looking?
I'm fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
This is my first tentacle monster.
It's okay, Yarrow. I'll save you.
I doubt that.
So you take 12 points of bludgeoning damage,
Oh boy.
and you are stunned until the end of this creature's next turn.
Okay, so despite his protestations, Yarrow is not in good shape.
It's like wobbling.
I'm fine.
You get slammed onto the ground, and you all hear like the crunch of everything breaking underneath him. And as he comes up, it's just like, "I'm fine," and then kind of like knocks.
That
out a
all
little
you
bit.
got.
All right.
Oh no.
Wada, now it is your turn.
You're never gonna believe what he does.
Surprise me.
Having caught sight of the encroaching darkness.
Well, the one that is close, or the one that was closest to Wada is completely gone.
That
now.
one's gone.
Yeah.
I didn't
Okay.
get all of them? Oh, poop.
So I think he's still gonna move a little bit farther in,
Mm-hmm.
just to because it was like, Doc, no, and jump in and take another shot with the thing, and I'm gonna remember my advantage this time. 13.
Does not hit.
Well, it's fine. So as he's trying to take this failed shot, he'll shout to Rodriguez again to bite harder. And this time I'll remember Rodriguez with advantage, most especially. That's much better. All right, that's gonna be.
Go, you beautiful tin can.
Such a gracious creature.
That's a dirty 23.
Yeah, that hits.
Better hit.
I like you still call him dirty 23. It's like as if you could roll a natural 23.
I mean, Rodriguez has all kinds of
There's a lot of junk
magic
around here.
So he's gonna do D8. 12 damage.
Nice. So this time when Rodriguez opens up its mouth, having missed the prior shot, he takes a second to kind of like angle himself upward and just unhinges his jaw and claps shut. And the creature just horrible wails, as I've been eliciting from all of the wonderful attacks that you guys have been making on this poor creature. And now it is Ben's turn.
Just for clarity, I am no longer in darkness?
Correct.
Okay, cool. Great. Glad we resolved that. Gonna shoot another arrow at
Do it.
our friend.
Mhm.
That is a 17 to hit.
Mm-hmm. That hits.
Excellent. So many pages. And that is 6 radiant damage.
Okay.
And my attack action will be, because that is a bonus action to fire the arrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to use Produce Flame again.
Okay.
And hurl more fire at this critter.
Go for it.
That went on a Holy shit!
This is bullshit!
I agree.
That is another nat 20.
Oh my god.
Holy shit!
You
God
finally
damn it,
found a
Chrissy.
set of dice that likes
Told
you.
you that scarf was good.
Bless these dice.
Nice.
You are never going in the freezer, my children.
Oh, my dice are going to the pit.
Professor, your blood sugar's low. You should have eaten the muffin.
I told you the scarf would.
And then that is 11 points of fire damage.
Alright. So as you fire off, you fire off the arrow, and it looks like it is on its last leg. You see kind of the tentacle holding up Yarrow starts to sag. You can feel your feet touch the ground. Not that you can do anything quite about it yet. But as you create this flame and as you throw it at this creature, it barely even needs to touch it. It's almost as if just the heat of the flame itself sends the creature into one final wail and one final sort of throw of its tentacles up into the air. And you all hear in your head just an extended, no, hurt.
Don't humanize it. Oh my god. My heart.
This would be a lot more interesting if it wasn't covered in violet light.
But the tentacle drops to the ground and this creature collapses in the pile of stuff in the middle of this room. Yarrow, it's a moment before you kind of have sensation in your body again, but you are immediately released and kind of like fall down slide down a couple of the things.
That'll teach you.
I use Cure Wounds on him.
Thank you. What do I heal?
I don't know. I didn't.
Something.
1d8 plus your spellcasting modifier. You got 2
Oh,
plus...
yes.
Wait, what do I use for mine? 3 wisdom, I think? Yeah, 5, I guess? Yeah.
5? Oh, I'm back in double digits. Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
Yeah, good job.
Yay.
Nice.
Pretty sure it's wisdom, right? Yeah.
Alright, so you have defeated this creature, and the room becomes more quiet than it was before. Obviously because there is no longer something rooting through this pile of miscellaneous things, but also the sound of water off to your side subsides. Just down from the thrashing now just to the gentle lapping of sort of water against a sort of rocky, sandy shore.
Can I go investigate the pile of stuff and have Rodriguez help me?
Absolutely.
Anything.
Looking through it.
Pile of stuff.
So are you looking for something specific?
No.
Then just give me perception for that then.
Okay. 4.
I mean, you're rifling through and you immediately recognize the like broken pieces of roof tile. You see some other like stones that might have been part of a cobbled street at one point, but were clearly like picked off and picked apart by something else. They're like twigs, sticks, branches, some like clumps of dirt,
Nothing
of like
valuable.
grass. There's some bones that are in there as well, but they seem any combination of like broken, like super weathered, just not really in great condition.
Can I check the area for signs of cricks, like feathers, etc.?
Absolutely, yeah. Also perception.
Sure, that's like a 10.
How are we the worst at
All right.
Terrible
Well-
field researchers.
researchers?
Well, I mean, good news is that as you are looking at this pile, you immediately spot a couple of feathers.
Yes.
And amongst the feathers, you spot a couple of skeletons in sort of the piles of bones. But as things quiet down and as Wada is shuffling through everything, you hear kind of like a gentle tap, tap, tap of a creature sort of jumping up from the lower section where that water sound was coming from. And you see one of the cricks sort of jumping towards the lot of you, albeit cautiously, but kind of like looking around to survey and see if there is still a threat or not. It kind of looks at you and kind of like turns its head in curiosity.
I have primeval awareness. I can do simple communication with friendly creatures. Can I assure it that it is safe?
Absolutely, yeah.
Friend, it is safe. Kind of like a nice little gesture of, look what we did. Look at that dead beast.
And its head kind of turns. Its head turns again, and it also like stands upright as you say that. It like shuffles its feathers a little bit. Turns back towards the little drop off. And makes some sort of like a little bit of a caw noise and pecks against the side of the ground. And just after that, you hear even more of the little tick, 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 of more and more of these birds kind of coming out of some of the other kind of like cricks and holes in the walls. Clearly once formerly too afraid to leave at the fear of being taken by this creature like some of its little crick siblings had been. And they all are looking at you in the same kind of grateful and a little confused because, you know, they're birds.
Phasmith hides his antennas under his hat because some level of birds does not agree with him.
I think Wada reaches into his pack and pulls out another stale-ass muffin and just kind of holds it out.
Where do you get? They're so oily. Wait.
One of them...
Special bottom shelf of the pigweed that I can see at my eye level.
There's not supposed to be a bottom shelf. It's where the ones that fall into... Never mind. Don't worry about it.
One of the cricks sort of like climbs up the pile and starts picking at the muffin. Takes a couple picks and then eventually just opens up its mouth and takes the whole thing.
Like
and
unhinges its jaw? Or just...
Not entire. I mean,
Okay.
it just opens its mouth
Okay.
pretty wide, gets its beak around the entire muffin.
It's a big bird.
Yeah, it's 10-foot
mean-
wingspan. Like they're large birds.
I want friends with them. Make friendship happen
And,
now. Chop chop.
And so what this one does actually is it takes the muffin. It picks off a little piece of it as it drops it onto the ground, and some of the other cricks kind of like they open up their wings and hop over and start kind of pecking at it as well. But the one that you shared with flies up into one of the other little nests that's a little bit higher up on the wall, and it comes down with something else in its mouth, sort of a rectangular shape thing is what you see at first, and it flies right up to you, Wada, and gestures. Holds its beak forward, and as you hold your hands out, it opens up and it drops a black, titleless book into your hands.
Whoa. I immediately open it.
As you open it, it's almost like there's a gust of wind that comes from within the pages, and there's kind of like a push of a little bit of like dusty kind of dampness that just kind of like goes right up your nose. And it's this lovely handwriting of someone who, if you like taking a moment to read it, it looks like they are like someone's journal, and they have written the story inside of it or recounting something that had happened to them. The journal seems a little bit beat up, but it seems like something had happened to this person, and there was a group of people that were very kind to them and helped them recover. And as you continue to flip through the pages, there is one page that falls loose. And as you pull it out, it unfolds into something a little bit larger, and you see it is a hand-drawn map.
Professor, I think we found somebody else's field notes.
That is very interesting.